ton of this roster back that was here in 2019. How much does that excite you, just seeing all those familiar faces, especially people who kind of left and come back?
Yeah.
Those experiences with them.
It definitely feels really good just because the atmosphere isn't too new. Not to say that I don't like to get to know new people, but it does make it easier going onto the court, having played with them before, and knowing what the locker room is going to be like. So it's definitely a treat in itself, but I'm also excited to add some new personality to the team.
How much is there going to be, the last time this kind of group was together, you guys were killing everybody with threes, doing with offense, how much is the identity going to shift a little bit more towards defense, do you think?
A lot. I think that's what a lot of people see right now is our ability to kind of shut people out or lock people down, and we can't do it. So I think that's something that we have to hold ourselves to and not so much worry about other people calling us a defensive team because we know we can play. But it's going to be exciting being able to kind of be a terror on both ends of the floor.
Ariel, Elena Deladon said that you have this era of confidence that you've always had it, but there's been a difference in you, and she kind of alluded to the fact that the Olympic experience kind of gave you something extra. Do you see that in yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a lot you can learn about yourself. Having the Olympic experience that I had, one, and just being completely different, not having fans or family to be with you way across the world, and to kind of be confined into just a hotel and forced to, talk to some people that I probably would have normally not talked to. So to be able to not only gain knowledge from older players and coaches, but just to be around them, see how they operate and see how they move was super helpful for me. And so that definitely did help in, I don't know if I want to say it's like building my confidence. It just kind of gave me more of like a reassurance of not only that you belong, but that like everyone believes the same. So you might as well go out there and do what you're supposed to do.
And defensively, the depth that you were just discussing,
Mm-hmm.
what does that feel like to know that there's so much depth on the defensive end and a lot of different rotations and looks that you can go to this season?
That's exciting. I know it's probably not exciting for other people, but for us it's exciting because not only do we have depth, as you alluded to, but we got shot blockers. Like we got real shot blockers in the paint, so that allows us as guards to get into people a little more. I played with Imani McGee Stafford in Texas, I want to say for 2 years, and that is a completely different atmosphere when you have somebody that caliber being able to protect the rim.
Ariel, I know last season had one for the challenges. What are you looking forward to both going into this year?
A clean slate. We didn't make playoffs last year. Ain't nothing else we need to be talking about but work.
I was just going to ask, what feels different about entering this season compared to entering last season? Obviously you got players like Lynette back. What feels different?
Yeah, I think last year we weren't prepared for the storms that we were going to have to weather. And that's not to say that you're not supposed to be prepared or always, be ready for the worst. But I think that put us in a mindset of whatever is thrown at us this year, we still have to be who we are. And I think we kind of lost that last year when so much stuff was thrown at us. We just kind of got jolted a little bit. But, God forbid, with injuries, dear God, we had a ton of those last year. So to be honest with you, like whatever's thrown at us this year, we can't allow it to rock us regardless of who it is or what it is. So I think that has given us confidence going into this season, knowing that our foundation is solid and we don't need to stray from it.
Is it fair to say there's a little more clarity around the identity this year, or how would you phrase it?
We didn't make playoffs last year. So for me, it's kind of just like, what are you worried about? At the end of the day, you got to do your job. At the end of the day, our goal is to win championships here. And so how do you do that? You take it day by day. You focus on the little things, and then you hope that they build to the big things.
Okay, all right. Question. When you look at your roster top to bottom, what excites you the most?
Our defensive prowess. I'm excited because everybody in the league can score, but I'm not sure everybody in the league can defend. And I think that's what's going to separate us this year.
And you said you want to win championships, but individually, what goal do you have this year for yourself?
Just foundational. My goal this year is to get to the rack more. I'm very well known as a shooter, and I'm thankful to have that title. But I think being able to score at all three levels and keep people on their toes will be a better help for my team.
With Shakir Austin and Kristen Williams coming in, and I know there are other players that have been invited to the training camp, but those two specifically, how do you see them fitting into what you already have? And like you said, Ava said, like a lot of players are very familiar with one another from the 2019 team, with Tiana Hawkins and the like coming back. What do you see from them in terms of how they'll mesh in with what you have already?
Yeah, I think they came in ready to work from day one. I mean, today is technically our first day of practicing, but we've had times where we're able to kind of work out with them just a little bit. So the fact that they're just sponges, they're just ready to work, and they're competitors. And that's something that you want in younger players. That's something that you can't teach. And so I think they have a lot of things that you can't teach. And then what they don't have, I haven't seen much of what they don't have, but what they don't have, I think that we can help them kind of fill those gaps. But they're super competitive and they're good humans. And to me, that's really important as well.
Ariel, what does Alicia add to this group?
What doesn't she add to the group? I mean, one, everybody knows about her defense, but I think her leadership and her ability to speak, even when somebody's probably not listening, is huge. Because sometimes people get discouraged if they think that someone's not paying attention or somebody's not listening. Like, AC's gonna say what she gotta say when she gotta say it, and she don't care who's listening. So that's something that I appreciate about her leadership, and it's something that we need.
How much does the season feel different for you after winning a gold medal?
I don't know. This season feels a little different for me because we didn't make playoffs last year. I'm gonna keep saying it because that's how I feel. That's not okay. It's unacceptable, and it's not something that's daunting me. And there's no pressure on us to go out and do something crazy. But it just kind of resets your focus, and you can have all these grand scheme of ideas of winning the championships and XYZ, but if you don't even make playoffs, how you gonna do that? So I'm just taking it back to myself, to back when I was a kid. Like, just focus on playing the game and having fun and enjoying it. You're gonna get better if you put in the work. And the Olympics did help me realize that, like, it's a kid's game, and I get to do it for a living.
So excuse me, you're entering your 5th year, so that's like that territory. And, and Elena talked about how you're becoming more vocal. Do you see yourself progressing into a leader, and then just kind of explain that maturation process?
Yeah, I think it comes with being in an organization like this. I've said it before, they've allowed me to grow into who I am as a player, and even as a person. There was no rush. There was no one expecting crazy things. Like, I didn't have to come out of college and drop 30. I didn't have to go in every night stressed about Coach T pulling me if I made one mistake. I knew that I had room to grow and I had room to learn. And so I honestly would attest it to this organization and the people that have really helped me build me up to be the player that I am today. And so I'm really excited for our rookies to be in an organization like this because they are pros, and it's really going to allow them to grow and become the best version of themselves.
With you being on the precipice of being a vet, Elena Deladon said that she still calls you Little A. Is that still acceptable?
That's not going to change. Chrissy still calls me that too. We went to lunch and, what's up, Little A? I'm like, what's up, KT? How you doing? So it's cool. They're my vets.
I'll go ahead and switch over to Zoom real quick. So,
hey Ariel, hope you're doing well. Have a great season, first of all. How could you describe your last experience overseas in Ukraine this season?
It was a good season. I really liked my teammates. The organization took care of me. And they are some of the sweetest people I've ever met in my teammates. It wasn't... Of course, there were some scares and some talks about the war, but I wasn't there during that time. And it's something that my former teammates, are still dealing with to this day.
And speaking about this season with Elena back healthy, with Natasha, Diana, Maisha, all those players, how confident you are that you're going to be a championship caliber team once again?
I mean, I think we're a championship caliber team. Just on paper, but I mean, that don't really mean nothing until you put in the work.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Patrick.
Hey, Ariel. I want to ask you again about the vocal part. I know I was able to have a chance to talk to you during the USA basketball camp, and you said that was one of your goals, was to start being vocal. I mean, is that something that, do you let the team know that's your next step, or is that just something that you just jump out there and kind of attack?
Well, to be honest, they kind of told me that was my next step. So me telling them wouldn't do anybody any good. But everyone knows that I'm not the most talkative person in the room. So being on the court, I do know stepping into that leadership role, growing into that leadership role is very important, because communication is one of the most important things in this game.
And then going into this year, of course, it's the 25th anniversary of the franchise. Just wanted to kind of get your thoughts. I mean, you're a part of that history now, what you've accomplished coming in, being a champion. Just kind of want to get your thoughts on the first 25 years of the franchise, and then what your goal is, I guess, to move into the next 25 years for the franchise.
My biggest thing is to try to leave places and people better than I found them. I mean, yes, we did win a championship, but the work, is far from over. That's not just to say just the Mystics and the basketball. That's with the DC community as well. So I think us growing into the next 25, it's important for us not to just focus on basketball and to make sure that we're taking care of the community as well. But I am happy and thankful to be a part of 25, and I think I've said it before, like, my class is the first class that's only known the WNBA. Like, we don't know anything else. So it feels good to be a part of that.
All right, thank you.
Pepper.
Hi Ariel, it's great to see you. I was just wondering, what's different now for you being in year 4 and being a WNBA veteran?
Ooh, WNBA veteran. I don't know. I do feel more confident. I do feel like I understand what my coach wants from me more. But I am more comfortable in my own skin as a human. And I think that's the biggest thing for me going into this season. And it's going to allow that part of my humanness to transfer to the court.
Mara?
Hello, Ariel. My name is Takeshi Shibata from Tokyo, Japan. So my question is, I think you had a couple opportunity to play against your new teammate Rui Machida from Japan. So what kind of, I'm curious about what kind of impression do you have for her playing style?
Yeah, I think the thing that impressed me the most about Rui was her vision on the court and her ability to see some things that I honestly wasn't even looking at or thinking about. So I'm really excited to play with her and to make sure that my hands are ready at all times.
Are you guys already in touch to each other?
No, we haven't been able to. Not much. I mean, a little bit on Instagram, Instagram thing, but I haven't been able to talk to her face to face yet.
Okay, thank you so much. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let's have one more from the feed.
This is what I think about that sports talk. How you doing today, Ariel?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Doing all right. I want to talk to you about the Washington Mystics draft pick, Shakir Austin. Like from what you see during her college days, every chance you get, what do you think she's going to bring to your team as she look to rebound from just missing the playoff spot here last year?
Yeah, I think she brings a versatility that we haven't had in a while. It's kind of like Elena, but it's kind of not. It's kind of like Tiana, but it's kind of not. So I'm really excited to watch her flourish and grow because she has some really good post vets that are not only going to take care of her, but are really going to feed her the game, and she's only going to get better.
And all the stuff you just mentioned, you think that the team's going to make up for losing Tia and Charles to free agency?
Yeah, I think we'll be all right.